Okay, so last time what we did was we got all the timing components in, got the timing cover on, and the injection pump and all the springs and levers for the governor. So that was where I left off last time. Now, the next thing I would do is put the cylinder head on, but since after I put the cylinder head on, it's going to be really hard to turn the engine over and straighten it back up again, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is just quickly throw the oil pan on and install the oil pickup tube. Okay, so I just need to get that pickup tube installed, and it's got an O-ring that fits around there. And now before I put the cylinder head on, I need to make sure I put the valve lifters in first. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, now that I've got all the valve lifters in place and they went back in the same position that they came out of, anyway, now that that's done, I think I'm going to put the cylinder head on next. And I've moved all the pistons away from top dead center, and I'm doing that because of the amount of material that was taken off of the block and the head. I just want to run the risk of there being a piston to valve clearance problem or other kind of clearance problems in there. So just as a precaution, I don't think there will be, but just as a precaution, I'm going to move them all away from top dead center. And then, so here's the head gasket that came with the kit. I'm having a hard time getting it all in shot there. But it's an MLS gasket, and it looks to me like it can only go on one way. So okay, so I've installed the cylinder head gasket and cylinder head. I got the bolts in and I've lubricated the threads. Now what I need to do is I just need to torque them, and it looks like from looking at the manual, I'm going to be going up to about 70 foot-pounds on that. And basically the pattern's really simple, the tightening pattern's really simple. It looks like you just kind of start, basically you kind of like start here, and then you kind of work your way out in kind of in a helical pattern. So we'll start here and do that, but what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go straight to 70 foot-pounds. I think I might go to like 20, 50, and 70, so let's get started with that. Alright, so we got the head all bolted down, all torqued in place there, so I guess the next thing I want to do is get the rocker arm assembly in there, but before that I gotta place all the push rods in there, and I have them all numbered and bagged so that they're going to go back in the place that they came from. And then after that I need to put on there's little caps that go on top of the valve stem here. I need to put those on too, and I also kept those in order. So anyway, let me get started with putting the push rods in. I've got all these adjuster screws backed out so that as I'm tightening this, I'm not actually compressing any of the springs yet or opening any of the valves yet. So anyway, the book called for 20 foot-pounds on those, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now we can move on to adjusting those valves. I'm just going to adjust one rocker arm set. I'm not going to put you through the whole process. I'm just going to tell you the way I do it, and it has to do with, usually on engines like this, you'll have what I call companion cylinders, which means that, and it's usually on this one, I think it's the outer ones here and the inner ones here. And the idea is that the companion cylinders, the pistons move up and down at the same time, at the same phase. But when one companion cylinder is at top dead center compression, the other cylinder is going to be at top dead center exhaust. And the way you can kind of tell you're really pretty close to top dead center is that you'll be able to see when the exhaust valve shuts and when the intake valve begins to open. So that tells you that you're basically at overlap there, which means you ought to be pretty darn close to top dead center. So when I have overlap on one companion cylinder, I adjust the lash on the other companion cylinder. So right now I've checked it out. We got this one's on overlap, and I'm going to adjust this one here, and the manual says, I think 7 to 9 thousandths with the engine cold. So I am going to adjust these to about 8. Put me in the middle of that specification. And we can get on with that. I'm just taking this through, a little bit of drag on there. The other thing I find is that sometimes you get that set, a little bit of drag on there, try a little bit, just through still, and take that and then check again. And I can tell that after tighten that up a little bit. So I can tighten out some. And I put a little bit of drag there on that gauge. So drag on that one. So right here. Alright, so I like the way that seems. Just a very slight amount of drag on the gauge at 8 thousandths. So that's the way I'm going to do that. And the other thing I'm going to do off camera real quick is before I adjust these other three, I'm going to bar the engine really slowly as the piston's coming up on top dead center on here, because so much material was taken off of the deck. The piston was actually sitting proud of the deck just a little bit, and I'm a little bit. It seemed like the head gasket was giving it enough clearance, but I just want to check the piston to valve clearance real quick on that. And again, I'm not going to bore you with that. I just want to see what it is. I mean, I'm not going to measure it. I just want to see, how, if there's enough clearance there. So, at any rate, that's the way I'm going to do that. And let me finish this, and we can move on to something else. All right, so I got the rocker arms all installed, tightened down, and they're all adjusted now. Just because I want to, I'm just going to throw the glow plugs in, and I thought I'd just, show you what they look like if you were interested in that. And the other reason I'm putting them in there now is just so that there's one less way for me to drop something into the cylinder. I'll just throw the valve cover on because I think I'm done under here, so I think I can just get this valve cover on with of course with a new gasket in place. I don't have the fuel injectors yet, so I think I'll maybe throw the intake manifold on next. Alright, so I just fast forwarded a little bit there and just put all these accessories on, like the intake and this bell crank here, and just those odds and ends. And I think what I'm going to do next is just go outside and spray paint these other components the same color as the rest of it. And I was just waiting I need the fuel injectors, I need the water pump, I need a thermostat, an oil filter, and the water pump drive belt, V-belt. So let me just go outside and clean this up, and I guess that's going to be it until those parts get here. Okay, so I just finished painting it, and I am still waiting for a couple of things like the water pump. We talked about that before, just a few parts I'm waiting for. But those are all parts that I can install while this is on the dyno. So I think I'll just take advantage of the time that I'm waiting and just get this thing set up on there, so that when I have the parts, it's just I'm that much further ahead. I was really hoping that this would be the last video of this series, because I feel like it's kind of gone on for a while. But yeah, it's just what it is this week. I just don't have the parts to finish this. So hopefully the next video is starting this engine up and seeing it run, or it's going to be trying to start this engine and it not run, and then trying to figure out why it's not running. So anyway, that's what we got to look forward to there. And unfortunately, that's about all I got for this week, and I guess I'll see you next time.